Welcome back, everybody, to a special live episode of the DCL Duo podcast brought to you by My Path Unwinding Travel and also our friends over at DCL Magazine or WDW Magazine. We want to thank them for sponsoring our live and bonus shows these past couple of months. And they are gearing up. They are getting ready to release their new DCL magazine. I can't share timing, but they are going to be releasing their magazine. So coming soon, hopefully with an article by us in there about parasailing, one of our favorite activities at Castaway Cay, we're hoping. But just want to thank them. If you have not signed up for their wait list, now is a great time to head over so you can find out when the new magazine is going to be publishing, potentially subscribe yourself. So head over to DCL-magazine.com to sign for the wait list. And if you want to buy anything out of the WDW magazine store, they've got the DLR magazine, the WDW magazine, forthcoming DCL magazine, calendars, merch, all kinds of fun stuff. Just use code DCL Duo for 10% off. That's DCL Duo, all caps, 10% off in their store. But speaking of friends, Sam, we have friends from our fabulous sponsor, My Path Unwinding, joining us. So welcome, Carolyn.
Thank you. Thank you. Happy holidays, everyone. I'm so excited to be here and tell you all about maritime cruising.
Yes, we're so excited to have you on. First time on the DCL Duo podcast for Carolyn. But Carolyn, you have a really cool prior job that I kind of need to mention.
Oh, that's right.
Karen mentioned this to me.
You heard about that.
Yes. So Carolyn used to work for the Mob Museum in Las Vegas.
I did. Yes. I'm a former museum curator. Yes. And one of my former positions is with the Mob Museum.
That is so cool. And apparently you had to go and ask mobsters for old memorabilia and stuff like that. Is that true?
I worked very closely with both law enforcement as well as some of the crime families to help find authentic artifacts for museums, and overall museum curation took me to some really interesting places. I also worked for the National Park Service.
Oh, cool.
And went to many national parks, including some cruise ports as well. I actually worked out of Skagway, Alaska as a park ranger. Goodness. And so I'm very familiar with many of the cruise ports up there as well. And love to help clients that are sailing to that area.
I just need to know if you had to read Miranda warnings, don't give me anything that's going to incriminate you.
No, it was difficult to get some people to sign affidavits, of course, but that's all confidential.
I love it. Well, Carolyn, we're so excited to have you on the show tonight.
Well, and Sam, before we dive into maritime cruising, we just a couple of news items for Disney Cruise Line.
Oh, yeah.
You're aware.
Okay. Yeah.
So one, the Adventure still on sale. They have opened up now to silver booking, and I think is it tomorrow?
Yeah.
General on sale availability to the public. So if you've been wanting to,
technically tonight, because remember they're 12 hours ahead of us.
7 p.m. I think it is tonight on the West Coast.
Yeah.
So. If you've been wanting to book the Adventure and you have not sailed Disney Cruise Line before, interesting choice to sail the Adventure first, unless you already live in Asia. But if that's your thing, it's tonight is your night. And I don't think it's sold out. I think some of the stateroom categories have sold out. The nice thing about it is there is the same sort of there are not the same sort of restrictions on this maiden voyage as there are on the maiden voyages we've experienced in the U.S. So we are booked. I'm putting that in air quotes. Well, I am booked with my fabulous PA, my production assistant, not personal assistant, who might accompany me over there or not. We're not sure. We may just move it out. But I was like, I'll book it, and we'll see what happens. But so that is out there. The other thing is the Treasure. It's getting close, people. It's getting close. So the media is on right now for their 3-night media cruise. So.
Yep.
Great time to follow, by the way. P.S. Again, WDW Magazine. Great time to follow them because they're on board and putting out a lot of great content. Also, a great time to follow some of the folks we had on last week. Scott Gustin and Laughing Place. So now's a great time to follow those outlets because they're on board experiencing the Treasure for 3 nights. Quick taste of it. And then Sam leaves in 2 days.
I'm going to be on Thursday.
Yeah,
Me
so she'll
and
be on
Karen
board.
Shelton from My Path Unwinding Travel. Also, Karen's daughter Leia is going to be with us. So there's going to be the three of us on board the Treasure on Thursday. We will be on for 3 nights. So we leave, of course. That means that we leave on Sunday. Yeah. So I'll be posting on, all the socials, but probably primarily Instagram. So if you want to follow along, I'll be doing reels, I'll be doing stories, all that good stuff. So follow
Yes.
Instagram for most.
Well, and the breaking news from last week's show that I'm still working to get confirmation over is for everyone out there on the maiden voyage who's been like, there is no tree. There is a tree. So there
There's
will
a
be
tree
a tree.
coming.
There is not one now. We expect them to install some kind of decor on the night that the Treasure is dark before the maiden voyage. It's when they bring a lot of stuff on board, more merch, deliver stuff to staterooms, all that fun stuff. But we are expecting a tree. Media relations confirmed that to one of our media friends out there, who was Benji, who was on our show last week. So
Yeah,
that is the news of the week for Disney Cruise Line. Thankfully, it's a lot quieter than everything that they've been dropping for. They had Walt Disney World Day, they had Disneyland Day with just tons of announcements. The cruise line's been a little quieter, thank God. So we're looking forward to being on the maiden voyage here in just under 10 days, Sam. I think maybe 10 days out.
the
11
21st.
days? Yeah,
so 12 days.
12 days. 12 days. So there you go. So
Yeah.
all right.
Well, and Linda's asking, so many podcasters going on the Treasure on Thursday. Maybe it's basically the cruise that I'm going on Thursday
we know
it's a travel agent's cruise mostly.
it's a travel agent cruise. So if your favorite podcast has a travel agent engaged as a host on the cruise,
there's a good chance.
There's a good chance. I think West from the DCL dude will probably be on there with Sam, and we know some of the folks from the Diz are going to be on board as well because they get an agency invite. So yes, there are a few podcasters we know who will be on board the Treasure with Sam. None of the typical folks got invited on the media cruise from this space, so they're all on the travel agent side of things this time around. So, all right, with that. Maritime cruising.
You guys have a busy holiday season here.
We have a very busy holiday season because we're getting on the Fantasy for New Year's Eve after we're on the Treasure also. So we're not technically back to back. We got, we get off and then we don't get on until the very next day. But before we talk about Maritime, Carolyn,
a hopscotch cruise. That's what we're call it.
We call it a side to side. But Carolyn, tell folks about your Disney cruising history. How many Disney cruises have you been on? I know you obviously book a lot of Disney cruises for your clients, but what's your sort of Disney background?
Our family has always loved cruising, and we've always loved Disney parks. We have a big family with lots of allergies and lots of neurodivergency. And I've always said that Disney is kind of the golden ticket for anyone that has, neurodivergency with different abilities and with food allergies, because you can really go anywhere and you have those safe places. Disney is very accommodating for anything that you need to do, or anything different in your diet that you need to do. And I love to help families that have, food difficulties or differences. We have celiac disease in our family. We have egg allergies. We have soy allergies. We have tree nut allergies. We have ADHD. We have autism. And Disney really is a place, both in the parks as well as on the ships, where everybody can have a good time. Everybody has a safe place. Everybody can find something that suits their needs. And Disney cruising makes it even better than in the parks. And we are recent, converts to Disney cruising. We'd been going to the parks for a long time. And it wasn't until really after the pandemic that we discovered that this would suit all of our family's needs as our kids got a little bit older. And able to move around a bit more and appreciate it. But we wish we'd found it earlier. So we've been doing Disney cruising for all of our vacations since then, along with the parks and land and sea trips as well. And we've been trying to do as many different types of cruising and as many different ships and locations as we can. We really love Disney's special days at seas, their holidays. We've done Marvel days at seas. We've done our first cruise was a Halloween on the High Seas adventure. And we've done, now we've done a Maritime cruise, as well as, their regular cruises in between. So we just really embrace it and love it. We've gotten our parents into it, and we do multi-generational cruises, which was what we did here with the maritime cruising. And it's just really a fun way to travel all together and to find something for everyone's needs.
Yeah, love that. And for folks who, want to know more about not just maritime cruising, but specifically cruising with food allergies, cruising with various disabilities, Carolyn has a special interest in those things. And so she's a great resource for that. If you're looking to book with My Path Unwinding, we always tell you to reach out to them. But if you have this, special issue thing, I mean, similar to our family, we don't have food allergies, but we have obviously autism and ADHD in our family, and Carolyn is a great resource for all of those things. Well, let's jump in. You decided to book a maritime cruise on the Disney Magic, is that right?
Yes, we were fresh off the Disney Magic. We actually got off the boat just a week ago this time. So it's all fresh in my head. I'm still, enjoying the high of the Disney cruise. And, this one I was a little unsure of. This one was my husband's idea. I had to be talked into it, and it was one of his best ideas ever. I'm always a little hesitant about traveling on the holidays. And I was worried that my dad is our family chef when it comes to the holidays. And I was worried we'd be stepping on his toes a little bit if we said, hey, we don't want to do Thanksgiving at your house this year. But they were so excited, my parents, that they wanted to come along with us. And you know what? It was just the best for everyone. I think every now and then, everyone needs a little bit of a break at the holidays. We all just need a chance, the adults and especially, to take a break, have a break out of the kitchen, especially when you have a lot of food allergies in your family. The chefs are trying to cover everybody.
Yes.
And have all the magic taken care of for you. And that's really what we had on this cruise. It had, it'd been a long fall. There's been a lot going on, and we just really left all the baggage behind, all the politics behind, all of our stress behind. And we had Disney make all of the magic for us.
I love that.
It was really great.
That. Well, let's talk about planning, Brian. Brian, you wanted to start right with the planning aspects.
Sure, you can start with wherever you would like. Sam.
No, I just am forgetting the order that you had
I don't think I mentioned planning, but
okay.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay.
I do think there's some planning aspects here to talk about. So, a lot of people, we were experiencing this with the maiden voyage on the Treasure because it's over the holidays. One, maybe help people understand how you even identify a very maritime cruise, because not all the cruises are very maritime. Some of the ships started into different times, and so how do you even find the very maritime cruises? Why don't we start
So very maritime cruises are a specific category when you search. I mean, it's always best to have a travel agent help partner with you so that not only can this be a stress-free vacation for you, but also the planning can be a little more stress-free. But you're going to notice that it's a specific category when you search for cruises on Disney Cruise Line, and that category is also going to have a lovely little string of lights next to it as well. Now, the time frame for these cruises goes from about mid-November, just before Thanksgiving. Usually it's about 1 or 2 rounds of cruising before the Thanksgiving holidays start. For us on the Magic, there was 1 cruise before Thanksgiving that had the very maritime happen. And then it goes until the Christmas cruise. Now, unlike the parks, there's not an additional buffer after the holidays where they're continuing that very maritime theming. Once the cruise that happens on Christmas ends, that is the end of the very maritime season. So if you're looking to do a New Year's cruise or something like that, you're not going to find a very maritime theming. It ends when Christmas ends. And it is very focused on that very maritime Christmas feel.
That's PS. That's true for Castaway Cay as well. Day after Christmas, those decorations come down. And in fact,
well, yes and no. So it is 100% true for the ship. The ship, as soon as Christmas is over, as Carolyn mentioned, then the decorations come down. So even if your ship sails like on Christmas Eve, at the end of your cruise, the next cruise, the people that get on for New Year's, because they're only 7-night cruises or less, they will not have maritime stuff. Castaway occasionally, this has been it has been different
Mm,
years. There have been times where there have been reports of Castaway decorations being up until New Year's, but it's not a guarantee because technically maritime season
yeah,
is
I think I mean, we have seen the photos at least of the ships of the like the people are getting off and you can see them offloading all of the
yeah,
decorations like
yeah.
that day. So,
Well, and
yeah.
early maritime cruises is a good point. If Linda is commenting, her dream cruise was the second maritime cruise on the Dream, and she was bummed the tree wasn't up on Castaway. So this is true too. The maritime the decorations on Castaway don't always go up before the maritime cruises start sailing. And so
I haven't seen have we seen photos of any decorations on Lookout Key this year? I haven't
I have
seen any.
not seen any, but I don't. Oh no, I have. Yes, we posted them.
Okay.
We posted them on. Gosh, I can't believe I'm saying this. Yeah, they were really cool. Like Bahamian decorated trees. We
Okay.
posted them on our Instagram. Now somebody
I
had
haven't
shared.
seen those. I missed those. I don't watch
Yeah,
any
somebody
Instagram,
had
so
someone had shared that.
They
I'm
are
the one who wants.
decorated
Yeah.
at both Castaway and Lookout Key
Yes,
okay.
yes.
this
We
year.
have
Yes.
yeah, and we have photos of that, Brian, for sure, because I definitely posted them on our Instagram when they first went up.
Okay.
All right, well, so let's okay, so the planning part, you got to look specifically for, whether or not something is
Mhm.
designated, to Carolyn's point. And I want to be clear, our cruise that is over Christmas on the Treasure, it is the Maiden, and so it is not designated as a maritime cruise, which from my belief means we will not have all of the trappings of maritime that we'll talk about on this show. But I know that we will have a tree. So generally
Yes.
speaking, if you don't have a maritime cruise, though, if it's not designated maritime, you should not expect any Christmas decorations.
Absolutely. There are absolutely some exceptions to this. You always want to make sure if you're looking for a maritime cruise that you're not just looking at the date, you're also looking for that maritime designation. The Disney Wonder, which is sailing down in Australia during this time. Last year, they had absolutely no decorations or any kind of theming. This year, they are decorating for the holidays on the boat, but they're not necessarily doing the full maritime itinerary and cruising and activities. So who knows what they'll be doing next year?
Well,
you have to wait
yeah.
and see for each.
Will be super interesting to see what they do with the adventure, actually.
Yeah,
'Cause I would expect them
absolutely.
to probably do some stuff with like, Chinese New Year and like or yeah.
Well,
So
I have to say, I lived in Singapore for 6 years, and let me tell you, they start decorating for Christmas in about September, early October. It is a very big holiday over there, at least commercially, and they do some amazing decorations. So I'd be surprised if there wasn't some kind of decorating or nod to it in some way, but it might take some time to build up to that as they figure out, what their agenda and
especially because
itineraries are going to be.
especially because her maiden voyage is also in December.
Yeah,
So
I think these
that will be-
maiden
yeah.
voyages in December create some difficulty for all of the things that Disney wants to accomplish in those short times.
Let's talk about some other stuff pre-planning. So before you even set foot on the ship, I think you have some decisions to make, right? Around stateroom decor, door decorating. If you're going to bring, so we've sailed over the Christmas holiday. Am I bringing, presents with me? Like all of that sort of stuff. Let's start with stateroom decor, because before you even set foot on the ship, Disney does usually offer some special decor packages. So do you want to talk about some of those, Carolyn?
I would love to. I've actually got part of ours behind me here. It's going to be different for every ship, what they have available. I definitely saw for clients and for myself different packages for the different ships. And so I've got part of mine here. I had some magnetic hangings here, some stuffed animal, cool pillow. We had a holiday blanket and a basket to put it all in. They offer something like this on every ship. They have offerings like seasonal flowers and poinsettias. They even have a Christmas tree that you can order to your room. Now, of course, it's a smaller sized one. It's a miniature that you can have in your room for you.
It's more of a plant than an actual tree, though, to be honest. We've had it before, and it's kind of this it's shaped like a Christmas tree, but it's it's some kind of plant. It's not actually
like a rosemary one on some and like a little mini pine on others, kind of depends on what you get. But it creates the spirit of it. And all these kind of holiday pre-packages start to be available to order kind of in early November. Once the holiday Halloween packages are over, that's when they'll be available within your My Disney Cruising app.
Yep.
You can also talk to your travel agent and they can help you purchase those items as well.
Every year it seems like they come a little later and a little later. And I will just tell folks, if you're interested in these packages, like the moment they go up, sometimes they're gone that day for your sailing, because they are very popular. People love the blankets. People want the trees. The kicker with the tree is I don't think you can take it off the ship with you. Cruise, so
no,
really
for all of the plants and flowers and things, do not expect to be able to take those off. With customs, it can be a difficult sort of thing. I mean, I know people have taken them, but it can be, difficult to get those through.
You can take the ornaments. The ornaments are removable, and they, like the one that we have gotten in the past is sort of a nautical themed one, and so it's got little like Captain Mickey, Captain Minnie, that sort of thing. So you can take those off to take home with you, and then of course you can put them on your tree at home after the fact. But the packages sell out. The best tip I can give for folks is join your Facebook group for your sailing, because people will be like checking. There are some people who check the app every single day. That's not me, but I will notice a Facebook post that's got a lot of activity when somebody posts and says the room packages for Christmas are up or whatever.
They're like Michael from The Office. It's all happening. It's all happening.
They will keep you informed whether you want to be or not.
Let's talk about decorations that you can bring on with you, because I think that's another thing. A lot of people decide I want to decorate our room, and I want to bring decorations. What can I bring? I think the biggest question is what you can't bring. Carolyn, why don't you tell folks what is sort of the parameter of things you cannot bring?
So you want to be careful with size, and you want to be careful with how much space you're taking up. And, door decorations are a really fun way for you to share, the Disney cruise love and things, but you're going to want to avoid wrapping your entire door. That's definitely a no-no. You keep your decorations, to the space of your door. Don't expand it beyond to the hallway. We did see some of that, but it had to be taken down by room attendants, unfortunately. Be careful with some of your electrical components. If you do want to bring lights on board, keep it small and to a battery pack. We found some great ones that, had an automatic 6-hour to a small battery pack that had a 6-hour on, 18-hour off. And that was really kind of a fun way to have some twinkle lights in the room, or add it to a tree if you want to. Also, if you do want to bring on your own tree, one that takes apart and puts back together, just make sure it's within some size requirements for Disney Cruise Line. I believe that's within 2 feet or 2.5 feet at absolute most. Target always has some great ones every year that people seem to go for. But again, those are very large when you're staying in a small stateroom.
We did have some success on the tree size thing. They make this one tree that's like, it's collapsible. So it's like, it looks like a wreath.
It's really a garland.
It's really like a big garland, and it collapses down, and you just hang the garland and it all drops down.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it's, so if you want something,
it's another great option.
And it's real skinny, so it doesn't take up a lot of room, but it's a little taller. Yeah.
Got on Amazon.
Yeah.
So that's a good option.
Those are good ways to decorate for sure.
Yeah. What about, let's talk about things to wear because this is still the planning aspect.
Oh, yes.
A lot of people do decide they're going to bring certain kinds of outfits. What are the typical things that people like to wear? I'm talking about the customers, I'm not talking about cast.
Talking about those pajamas, aren't you?
Yes, you know it. And those ugly sweaters.
Oh, lots of sweaters. But I mean, can you truly call any Disney sweater ugly?
No.
Yes.
I have to
yes,
say,
I can.
I embraced it all. I loved it. I think that pajamas and casual wear are a time-honored tradition on any cruise. I think by the last day, everyone's keeping it really comfortable. But on a maritime cruise, pajamas, especially matching Christmas family pajamas, are just really a fun thing and a very popular thing to wear, especially for all of that picture taking.
Hanukkah jammies are popular as well. I just want to put that
absolutely, definitely the holiday of your choice for sure. And I think that's a very popular thing, both in taking pictures off of cruise ships as well as on board. And it's just so easy because you're so near your stateroom. You can change anytime. It's really comfortable. And it's just something you can wrangle everybody in. We tried to do the Christmas sweaters this year, but just when we got in line for Santa, we were just glad everyone had clothes on by the time we were doing it. And luckily, during these maritime cruises, there's just a lot of opportunities to have character photos, Santa photos. They make sure to space out the times for these during all different times of day. It's not just in the evening, it's also in the daytime. It's all the time, so that you can really have a chance to do it. By the end of the cruise, I would say on our last night, at least 50% of the passengers were in their holiday pajamas, and they wore them through the night and exited the next morning. And I was really jealous. I was like, oh, that's what we got to do next time.
So Sam made a really good point. You have some great photos of your own door decor here. So this is Carolyn and her family
on the way
on the bus, bus on the way to the ship. I'm not sure what happened with this slide. I didn't know what's going on here.
It's Oh, darn it.
Compressing. It's all compressing. Here, let me do this and see if nope, that doesn't help.
No,
oh well. Well, the slides are not cooperating, so we will just go slideless.
Let me see if I can share my all right. I'm gonna remove yours, Brian. You guys keep talking. I'm gonna see if I can do this.
So yeah, let's talk about some of the reasons you might want to bring some special wear on board. Obviously, if you're on the cruise for Christmas morning, that can be a really special time, especially for pajamas. I think they kind of do something similar on all the cruises, like they designate a day that Santa's going to be in the atrium. But on Christmas morning, you can wake up early in your PJs, head to the atrium, get a photo with Santa. They've usually got cookies and hot cocoa out. Do they do that on the non Christmas Day sailings too?
Yeah. So how they do it for most of the sailings, I mean, obviously, so maritime sailings range from 3 nights to 7 nights. So it's going to differ depending on the sailing you have, but it's a lot like the other day at sea sailings, where there's one day they pick specifically to be extra Christmassy and be focused on all the holiday offerings and have extra characters out in their Christmas wear and their holiday outfits and be hugging everyone and wandering around the ship, not just in lines. They have extra holiday activities. Everything is themed. They have a deck party. They have above and beyond holiday. And that's like the focus of it, much like Marvel Day at Sea or the Halloween days and the Pixar Day at Sea. So that's like a focus day for it. But beyond that, there's also holiday offerings all throughout. So when you get on board, you're going to right away be greeted with the smell of gingerbread. There's a beautiful giant gingerbread house, as well as a big tree yes, that's the gingerbread house. I was obsessed with this gingerbread house
with one caveat. One caveat, which is if you're on the Wish, things are a little different than on the classic ships. So the gingerbread house tends to be a little smaller, and the tree is not non-traditional. I'll just put it that way. So yeah,
that's true. The Wish, you're going to get a more of a gold princess. The Wish is different in a lot of ways. So that, of course, they're going to do the holidays with more of a Wish and Enchanted theme for sure. And on the more traditional, I think, nautical themed original 4 ships, they definitely go with a little bit more of a traditional holiday look, but all the trees kind of have their own different DCL look to them. Our tree on the Magic was all decorated in a lot of seashells and seahorses and kind of like that tropical feel. So we definitely felt the Disney Cruise Lines. I mean, that gingerbread house was 500 pounds of gingerbread dough before it was cooked.
Crazy.
Yeah. Do you know what they do with it after? It's a great fact. Fun fact.
Oh, I don't. I want to know?
They feed the fish with it.
They feed it to the fish.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
To the fishes.
Yeah. Well, I love the garlands too. Like, so in this photo that I pulled up that you sent us, this is the garlands behind, of course, the atrium statue of Mickey. And so this is, just really nice decorations. I also want to show you. Oh, there's just the tree, which is beautiful. But I also want to show your door. Let me get
Oh, yeah,
there.
that was actually
Yeah.
my parents' door. We
Oh, your
were
parents'
on
door.
a
Cute.
different floor, and our door goes a little crazy. It's a little chaotic. We let the kids go wild on it. But I thought my parents did such a nice job of bringing, a little holiday decor to their theming this time, but within the limits of the Disney rules and everything.
Yeah.
So it's
This
just a fun way to spread the holiday cheer.
Yeah, and here's another picture of this your kids, obviously, with one of the trees.
Yes.
This isn't even the atrium tree. This is up one level, right? This is up on the
Yes, this
first
is up by
floor.
the movie theater, and that's
Yeah.
the thing is you're not just finding all the decoration in the lobby. It's in all the dining rooms. It's like in the hallways. You have the Disney Christmas music playing in the hallways on the day that you embark on the Christmas and the Merry Time Day at Sea, and when you disembark as well. So it's just kind of pervasive throughout your whole time, is that you're on this holiday filled cruise and that the magic is happening all around you, and that you're not in charge of it, which I think as a parent is great, because
really fun.
that's what we're doing all holiday season. I don't know about you guys, but we're in charge of the magic and in charge of making the magic of the holiday season. And what Disney does is it takes it out of your hands and lets you enjoy the magic with your family.
Totally. I honestly, that's what I love about sailing on either Thanksgiving or Christmas or even in between, but more specifically over Halloween, over Thanksgiving or Christmas, because then I don't have to do all of, like, the cooking and the cleanup and all that stuff.
Exactly.
I gotta
Disney
share
takes
this
the work out for you.
I gotta share this
Oh, yes.
comment from Karen. But is the gingerbread house gluten-free?
No.
No.
And it's a good thing, or else I probably would have taken a bite because it smelled so good.
I love it. I love it. That's hilarious. I love that Karen jumped in to ask that question.
That's
I'm
awesome.
I'm gonna show some other I'm gonna have to slide through pictures, so I apologize if I'm making people dizzy. Let's talk about characters and their costumes, because one of the benefits of a maritime cruise is exactly what I'm showing here, which is one of your kiddos with Goofy, but Goofy's not in his regular outfit. What's he wearing?
No, he's in his holiday outfit. All the characters are in their holiday outfits all day long on the Maritime at Sea Day. And they also put on a spectacular show at night, dancing in their outfits. Most of those pictures of my eldest there are really just taken from our walk from breakfast back up to our room. There were just
There's
so
Belle,
many characters wandering. That was a
Daisy,
special moment for
and
me.
Goofy.
I'm a girl. But there were just
I don't
characters.
think I've ever seen Belle, by the way, that's her regular outfit. I always feel like I see her always in the gold dress, right?
Yes.
This is her, like, at the beginning of the movie, or most of the movie. This is what she's wearing, like, when she's going to get her books and all of that, like, the whole opening sequence, she's in this dress. I actually
So
really
the
like
whole
this.
cruise, she was either in that dress or in her Christmas dress, which is also really
Oh.
special because you don't see Belle in the Christmas dress except at the holiday season. So
while
she
you
came out for.
Well, you two are talking really fast. While you two are talking, keep going. I'm gonna show. We actually put together a 360 tour of the ship decorated for Christmas, the whole atrium and different vantage points. We did this a while back from a couple of years ago. So I'm just gonna scroll through this while you guys are talking, so folks can get a sense of what the ship decorations look like. And if you are listening after the fact at home, you should head over to YouTube. I keep saying it. Head over to YouTube because we got usually some great visuals to go along with the guests we're talking to on these live shows. So anyway, sorry, Carolyn, keep going about the characters.
Yeah. So special. So Belle, you said, was in her regular outfit, meaning the blue dress, and then she had a holiday dress, so she wasn't in her normal
Christmas, her
gold.
red and white Christmas dress for the big Belle fans out there, like myself. She was in her Christmas outfit, which you can really only see at the parks or on a Disney cruise at the holiday season. It's pretty rare, and we saw a lot of Belle. She was out and about in her Christmas outfit or her blue dress a lot, and we just saw a lot of the characters in general. The Disney cruise always does a great job of having the lines available and the times available so that you can go and get a picture with the character you want and line up for that. But we also just had, I think during these holiday cruises and the maritime cruise at sea, they do a really great job of having the spontaneous interactions and having the characters wander around during those times when you're not expecting it. It really makes for those special moments with family. And I even found myself kind of getting caught up in it and a little teary-eyed with Belle because, it's really special and you just don't expect to have that. And you're so surprised by it when you just meet someone randomly in the hall and get that great hug, that Disney hug from your characters.
I love that. As we're speaking, Brian mentioned he's showing a 360. This is actually on the Wonder. So you're getting to see, so this is kind of nice to see a little comparison, right? We had the Carolyn's picture of, for example, the gingerbread house was on the Magic. It was in a different location and it was different decor, right? And the one on the Wonder was, like I said, slightly different. And same with the tree, slightly different color tree, different ornaments, right? They all have this garlands everywhere, of course, on all of the ships. But they do decorate them differently, and it's really cool to see different sort of color palettes and sort of unique designs. Let's talk about some of the activities. I know one of the first activities on a maritime sailing is the tree lighting.
That is my favorite. I loved the tree lighting. So when you first get on board, a maritime cruise, they have all the garland and the tree and the gingerbread house, but the lights are off. It's a little dark. You're being welcomed on board and it's magical. And they're like, welcome to the Disney Magic, the Fisher family. Mm-hmm. But it's not quite as magical as it can be yet. And when it really kicks off is the tree lighting. Now, for us, they had 2 different times for the tree lighting, and I suspect it's very similar on most of the ships as well. They have one in between the main and secondary seatings for dinner, so it was about at 7:30. This one was pretty crowded because you had so many people after dinner and before dinner. And so I went to both. This one I sat with my kids on the floor, but there was just a really festive atmosphere. They have a pianist beforehand, and everyone breaks into song, singing Jingle Bells and all of the classics together while you're waiting for everyone to come out. And then the second one happens at 10 p.m., a little bit later, a little bit less crowded. And I took some pictures from higher up on the deck. So they're a little grainier, but I wanted to make sure all the kids got the seats down below. And I took some pictures from above. And it's really fun. All the characters come out, sing some songs together with the crowd. Pluto sprinkles a little snow. I know on some of the bigger ships it comes down from above, and they have some other dancers as well. And then there's a surprise visit, of course, from Mr. and Mrs. Claus.
Yeah,
they
so
come
you can see
down
them on the stairwell, or on the stairwell right there at the very top of the stairs in the picture. Yeah.
Yeah, and they come down, and all the lights in the atrium go dark. And they light up the tree and the garlands all at once. And it's just beautiful. And it's so special and such a great way to kick off the cruise. And it really leaves you feeling full of holiday magic. I just loved it so much. I'm glad I went to both. And I definitely recommend if you have the time and energy on your maritime cruise that you don't miss this. If there's any one activity that you go to, that it's the tree lighting.
And that later one, definitely. I mean, I would recommend the later one only because that's the one that is less crowded. But
if you can make it, if you are a late night person, I definitely recommend it. I mean, my kids were already in bed, and I just kind of snuck away for it. Yeah. Which I like to do sometimes.
The earlier one, and then you go back to the later one and get some good video.
I like sneak a little magic in there. Exactly.
I love that. Well, let's talk about the deck party, because that's another big thing that people think about when they think of maritime cruising. I know that we got to see the updated deck party last year when we were sailing over Thanksgiving on the Magic. I think it's the same deck party that's happening this season. I think it's great. What would you tell people about, is this something you should definitely go to? Is this oh, you can miss this? What do you think about it, Carolyn?
I think it just depends on how you feel about deck parties, right? Deck parties aren't for everyone. They can be quite
True.
crowded and overwhelming and loud. There's the sail away party, there's the pirate party on most sailings, and then there's also the maritime deck party. So that means 3 very crowded and exciting dance parties for your kids and loud areas. And depending on what cruise you're on, there may be only one time for the maritime deck party, and for the magic it was at 10 o'clock at night. So
Wow.
for
That's so
everyone
late.
it is late, and so it may, I know on some of the bigger ships they also offer an earlier time just because they have the capacity to do that. So it wasn't for everyone in our group. Some of our family finds deck parties to be a little overwhelming, and that's perfectly fine. My dad and I stayed up late and we went to it. It was a really great fun bonding moment for us. We loved it. It was really fun. I think what's really great about the maritime deck party is the snow. It's just super fun. It's another great opportunity to wear your fun Christmas sweaters or your Christmas pajamas, and then everyone go your Christmas ears. I had some antlers on.
I had to take mine off because they were with the headphones. They were like just digging into my skull, so I had to take them off. But I love wearing them for the.
If you love a deck party, it is a great deck party.
Yeah. You know what's funny? I don't love all the deck parties. Like I'll skip most of the sail away parties, and on most of the ships I'll unless it's one I haven't seen, right? If it's a new one, I have to go. But if it's not a new deck party, I will often skip a deck party, except I won't skip the maritime one because I really like that one. I think it's great. I think we're gonna have the what is it called? The color spin one on the treasure. So I'm looking forward to that because we haven't seen that. Yeah, we haven't been to that deck party before, but it's going to be on the treasure. I just heard that or saw it on, I believe, Instagram last week when they had the cast member cruises. And so, yeah, so I do think that the maritime one, if you are okay with deck parties, it's a good one to go to, and you can always bring, noise canceling headphones. We do that for Nathan often for deck parties, and so that's always a good way to cope. It's not, like you said, not for everyone. I really like this one in particular because it's got a storyline about Goofy and Max, and that's a really a father-son storyline. I'll just leave it like that.
Yeah, I do think this is one of the better deck parties that Disney does. And I think because it's so different from the other deck parties, and it offers, that snow factor, and it offers an interesting different storyline, that it's a really good one to go to if you have that time and energy at that time of night.
Yeah. Yep. Let's talk about some of the other types of offerings. These are much smaller, less formal offerings, but there's some other stuff that tends to happen on maritime cruises. What are the other activities that one might find on a maritime cruise?
There's kind of 2 different camps with this. One, there's the activities that you're already used to seeing on Disney Cruise Line that they've just modified to be more holiday themed. So if you've done Everyone Can Cook, which is the, Remy themed cooking demonstrations that they do, they have some holiday themed one of this. My dad went to a great one featuring some ravioli, but there was also a Yuletide log chocolate cake one that he went to as well, which was really that was the ravioli one.
Yes.
We love some Italian food.
It just took me a while to get there. Sorry, folks.
There's also a Yuletide log and cake one as well that they did that was very holiday themed as well. That was a lot of fun. They always have great crafts on board the Disney cruise. And so they were all, of course, holiday themed, making various Christmas trees and ornaments and other things of that nature. So that was really fun that they kind of kept everything within the season. And on the other hand, there were a lot of things that are definitely exclusive to just a maritime cruise. So there were the maritime carolers, which would pop up every now and then in the atrium, and were just really fun and beautiful and such a great way to have a little holiday spirit within the cruise.
I love the carolers. They're so talented.
Too.
Yeah, they're usually like the main stage cast, and they put a group together and they will sing different holiday songs. They're just really wonderful. Super good.
I could have had them every day and I would have loved it.
Tracy's asking Sam if they replay the deck party that we were talking about. I
no,
don't think I've ever seen them do a deck party on the TV, the stateroom TV.
Yeah.
No, I didn't see that on our offerings as well. We do love to watch some of the stuff on the TV because it's a less impactful space. But I didn't see that. I have seen the pirate one sometimes played, but
yeah. Well, and to your point there are like the main stage shows very often will be broadcast on the TV. So if you have a kid who maybe can't sit through the show in the theater, or you yourself maybe can't sit through the show in the theater for whatever reason, oftentimes they are streaming on the TV like a couple minutes delayed, and it's really great, and they might show them multiple times during that evening as well, so it's a great option. Sorry, you were talking about
yes,
some of the other things that are available that are exclusive really to a Merry Time.
Yes, so another great one is Story Time with Mrs. Claus. She does down in the atrium again. She does a great story time for the kids, and adults. Frankly, I loved watching it from higher up. My kids decided they were a little too old for that now, but I think they would have loved it. I'm not too old for it. I thought she did great. And for each one, she'd bring out a special guest, and it was usually one of the Disney characters that would come out and wave to everybody and kind of play a little part alongside, with everything. And so that was really fun for everyone involved to have a little special character time as well with that. So those were some of my favorite of the exclusive offerings.
So
I want to put one thing out there. If you are Jewish like I am, and you like to watch movies on Christmas, that might be your Christmas tradition.
Well, yeah. Hold on, Sam. Though, but you just hit on something I want to make sure people know about, because we've gotten this question in the Facebook group too a few times, which is Very Merry Time. They also celebrate other religions on board, and so Kwanzaa has been a thing that they have celebrated, and also Hanukkah. If Hanukkah overlaps with your sailing, they had nice little gatherings each night to light candles, and they supplied, I feel like, wine one evening, and then
they supplied wine and latkes, and there was gelt, which are the chocolate coins, and there are usually some dreidels, and then depending on the ship, some of the ships they will have menorahs that you can light actually with real flame, but most of the ships it is just an electric menorah, and it is guest led. It is not crew led unless there happens to be a crew member who is Jewish.
But there was crew there. There was crew there to help with the food and that sort of stuff.
Yes,
check your onboard navigator if you're sailing over one of these holidays, and frequently they will do events, because Hanukkah doesn't always like neatly align with Christmas Day or anything like that. So there's two other categories of things we need to talk about, though, Sam, which are biggies, and I want to make sure we only have
I know
13.
we're going to talk about food. I know. Give me
not food. Not food. Food was not the first category. You're skipping a whole category of things.
I know.
Merch. Merch.
I just wanted to mention, though, movies. You can watch movies on board, and right now Moana 2 is on board. But okay.
Yes.
Now
well, I did want to say, Moana came out while we were on the ship. And of course, if you don't know this, like if Disney has a new release while you're on the ship, they will usually release it on the ship too. And they showed it in every theater as well as the Walt Disney Theater over and over and over again. So we had quite the exclusive premiere, which was also really fun. Yeah.
Love that. All right. Well, as Brian said, we got to talk about merch. Okay.
Merch.
So we've got two pictures that you sent us on merch. This is obviously mostly shirts and some hats. And then we've got like some, I think, lounge flies and some stuff here. So yeah, tell us about what is sort of the typical Merry Time merch look like.
So it's a lot of the same Spirit jerseys and things that you're going to find in the parks, but it says Disney Cruise Line on the back. And so those green Spirit jerseys were a hot item. So were those ears. I would say that I saw, by after the first day of cruising, I think I saw, I don't know, a good 10% of our crews wearing those jerseys. They were a hot item for sure. I think especially because, it's extra special when the back says Disney Cruise Line and not just Disneyland or Walt Disney World.
Oh yeah, I have
a little bit more.
I have one from last year that I will be wearing on board the Disney Treasure, no question. Yeah, and
Absolutely.
not on the preview sailing, but over the on the maiden, because that's over Christmas. So yeah, absolutely. I love a good Christmas T-shirt, a good Christmas spirit jersey, some Christmas ears. I will say I'm not a big fan of most of Disney's Hanukkah stuff, so I don't usually buy their Hanukkah ears. Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't have as much of the other holiday stuff as I think that we were hoping to see, but we did talk to some of the cast members who said that more comes throughout the season. We were only the second maritime cruising for them, and they said that sometimes it's a little slow to catch up to those other holidays.
Yep. All right, food. We got to talk about food,
Yes.
particularly if you're sailing on the holidays. You typically get a special meal. And Sam, we should also talk about our experience having sailed on Christmas and some of the things that they did for us Christmas Eve and on Christmas. But talk to us about sort of the menu for Christmas dinner, Carolyn.
Yes. Well, we had Thanksgiving dinner on board, and the Christmas menu is very similar, although it's maybe a little less pumpkin, a little more cranberry, a little less turkey, a little more ham. But as frequent Disney cruisers, we will do anything for a new menu. We love a new menu.
Yes, a new menu. Yes. Anything
it's exciting stuff.
Rotational menu.
Right? Oh, no more pirate menu, right? And we get very excited about new options, new stuff, and especially excited, with so many food allergies and things in the family, about Disney Cruise Line being so excellent at being able to modify so many things for all of our particular food issues in our family. And so this menu was fantastic. We loved it for Thanksgiving. It had a lot of great options that were so holiday themed for all of the courses. And it was really fun. If you want a traditional Thanksgiving dinner, they have everything on there that can get you a traditional Thanksgiving dinner. And I think same with the Christmas one as well. But if you want something different, you can go for something different too.
Oh yeah.
I'm just putting up, this is the dinner menu for Christmas dinner on the Wonder from a couple of years ago. So, to your point, they had specialty cocktails, warm spice, old fashioned. They had some special appetizers, the liver parfait, and I don't know whether there was a Christmas seafood sampler, but I guess they have those 7 fishes.
Yes, we had the Thanksgiving seafood sampler. I was a big fan.
Yeah, and then for entrees, I think I have it here. They had sea bass, pumpkin. They did have pumpkin and mascarpone ravioli, baked Virginia ham instead of turkey. To your point, and then a rib roast. Although they did have the roast turkey dinner as well, and they had a rib roast, pumpkin curry. This was kind of the
it's the same menu. It's literally the same, because as you're reading,
it's very close.
I'm looking at there's like there's maybe like 1 or 2 differences, but it's almost like,
but it's pretty much like, they're very close, and it's pretty much the only 2 times you can get that menu are Thanksgiving and Christmas on Disney Cruise Line. So it's very exclusive menu, and going on one of these maritime cruises is the only way to get it. And we loved it. It was really nice. You're not going to have, no matter what dining room you eat in, you're not going to be having one of the typical shows during that time. Rapunzel's not going to be having a party during that time. It's just a great family atmosphere for you to have a special meal all together without anyone having to do the cooking, without anyone having to do dishes, without anyone having to say, oh, I can't eat that. I have this diet now. It just, everyone gets what they want and how they want it. And there's no stress. It's fantastic to take a break.
I want to add a little bit more color too for Christmas. So on Christmas Eve, after dinner, I think was it after dinner?
Yes.
When did they do the toast? Did they come in and do a toast on Christmas, or that was that New Year's?
They did.
did a toast during dinner on Christmas
On
and on
Christmas.
Thanksgiving too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the crew, like an officer in the crew, and they
Mhm.
pass around like champagne and sparkling apple cider, and they give a little toast in the main dining rooms, and everyone, clinks glasses. After dinner, what was nice is as we left the dining room on Christmas Eve, they had a table set up with milk and cookies. I think you could take back to your room to have for Santa.
For Santa, they
And
gave you the little carton of milk, and then you could pick like some chocolate chip cookies or maybe some other
yeah,
cookies. Yeah.
Disney Cruise Line thinks of everything. They
yeah.
they have every detail thought out. Like you don't have to worry about anything being overlooked when you're planning a holiday with Disney Cruise Line for sure.
But I'm gonna give you gave some great reasons to go on a holiday sailing with Disney about not having to do the dishes, blah blah. I'm gonna give you the best reason because as I was looking through our photos to find the menu picture, I saw some other pictures from the morning of either Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. I think it was Christmas Day morning. There is nothing better than Palo brunch on the morning of a major
Oh.
holiday. And you wake up and you just head for brunch in Palo. It's like life is good. So there you go. That is my main reason to do sailing over a holiday.
Well, and I love this picture of your son with the Cloudum.
Oh.
By the way, Matthew's here saying Cloudum. He says the red is the best one. But I love that this is multi-generational cruising at its best. These are the grandparents on the cruise.
Mhm.
Yeah. So it's and then of course we've got the whole family picture in front of the tree, right? To me, the best reason for sailing over the holidays is that you can do this all with different people and you can you can come together and then you can separate. You're not like stuck in one house with like the entire
Absolutely. Absolutely.
family.
And you don't have to do everything. You don't have to do it all. I mean, during the day, we all went out and we did different activities, and we had special bonding moments in small groups. I got to hang out with my mom at the adult pool and have some frosé for the afternoon while my dad took one of my kids to a movie. And my husband took the other kid to play some basketball. We all went and did different activities at different times in smaller groups, or just went off on our own. Thank goodness for those kids clubs, right?
Yes.
And then we all came together every night, at the dinner table. And that's really what Disney does so well is those dinner spaces and those rotational dining. And so we really felt, that close family bond and those meal experiences without anybody having to do that work. And so when I came off the cruise ship, I was gung-ho, ready for the holidays. We came home, we set up the tree, we're ready for the lights. Let's go. 5 different days of the schools wanting themed shirts. Sure, let's do it. Okay. We're ready. We're ready for the holiday season now. We're in the mood. We feel festive. We're re-energized. And Disney Cruise Line really gave us that holiday pep, that holiday energy that we needed to kick off the season. And I can see how from the other end, closing out your Christmas and having this be how you spend your holiday really just makes it all so much better and brings everything together so that you can relax. So I think it's a great option on either end.
Yeah, totally agree. I mean, frankly, to me, I'd be happy to even go on a maritime cruise like at the beginning of December, right? Like it's I love all of the activities. I love seeing the ship decorated. My ideal is to go over Thanksgiving or Christmas, right? To be on for an actual holiday so I don't have to do the dishes. But I would be happy to go on one even in between. And as you mentioned, and as Matthew was saying, a very maritime cruise can really ramp you up for the holidays. I think that you used it as your kickoff and then put up your decorations at home. It makes perfect sense. Well,
yeah. I wanted to ask: is there anything that we haven't covered here before we wrap up for the evening? And yeah, so anything we haven't covered?
Well, I think people think it might be too late for this year, but it's not. I checked today. There are still ways to get on a maritime cruise this year. If you're ready to jump on board, contact your MyPath Unwinding travel agent or contact anyone at our agency, and you will be happy to help you out. We've got tons of agents who are ready to help, make a booking for you today. We can get you on board. And also, this is a great time to give the gift of a Disney cruise. You can go ahead And if you're having trouble finding something for someone in your family, get the Maritime Cruise for them for next season. Give them the gift of an easy Christmas season next year. If you're looking for more affordable ways to book that Maritime Cruise, don't go right on Thanksgiving, don't go right on Christmas. Go a little bit more maybe when school's in session, or before it gets out. Go during that early December or right before Thanksgiving time. We can help you find the best time, the best ship, the best situation that can help you and your family out, that works for you, stress-free. We're happy to help you out anytime.
Love it.
I was trying to head over to the cruise line website to see if you could still book the maiden voyage, but
You
apparently the adventure has bogged down the site and we have waiting rooms.
It is very slow today. It is
So-
very slow today. Just another great reason why you want to use a travel agent, because we will spend that time on the phone and on the website waiting for you.
So reach out.
I've got the ticker down at the bottom of the screen if you're watching, but if you reach out to My Path Unwinding, find them at mypathunwinding.com/DCL Duo, or email them at dclduo@mypathunwinding.com, so that they know that we sent you. And if you want to work with Carolyn specifically, just make sure to put that in your email or in your comments on when you enter your info onto the website. So as we mentioned, Carolyn, she specializes, of course, in all things Disney, and of course other travel as well. But she has a real passion for working with families with special needs and families with food allergies. So make sure to reach out to her. Carolyn, we just want to say thank you for joining us tonight. It's been wonderful having you on the show. Brian, what do we have?
For having me.
Of course. Brian, what do we got next week?
Yeah, I'm gonna talk about that. I would want to put one more plug in for My Path Unwinding by saying it is one of the easiest ways that you can help support our show, because it costs you nothing to use a travel agent to book your Disney Cruise Line travel. And My Path Unwinding has been a fabulous show sponsor for us. So show them some love when you're looking to book your next Disney vacation. With that, as we wrap up tonight, next week, it's a biggie. It's a big E week for us, because not only are we headed out, but on Monday night at our regular time, 5:30 p.m. Pacific, 8:30 p.m. Eastern, we will have our very own Samantha, along with Karen from My Path Unwinding Travel.
I'm the guest.
On for a live show to talk about their preview cruise on the Disney Treasure. So you'll get. I may have to just let you and Karen do the show, because I don't want my opinions swayed before I even step foot on the ship. Because if Sam says she likes something, then I feel obligated to like it, and if she says she hates it, then I may be like, well, I gotta hate that. So it's why I didn't see Cats when we went on a Royal Caribbean cruise.
Yeah,
so
that was a good decision, by the way.
Next week, maybe it'll be Karen and Sam and not me, because I really don't want to be swayed here. But it'll be 5:30 p.m. Pacific, 8:30 p.m. Eastern on Monday. On Tuesday. We're doing it again. We got another live show, this time with one of our fan favorite guests, Chris Vorbeck from Dreams Unlimited Travel, the Diz. He is going to be on. He is on the same sailing with Sam and Karen. He's going to be on to share his thoughts. We always love to hear Chris's thoughts about the new ships, so can't wait to have him on as well. And so we've got those two shows coming for you. Fun will not end. We still have regular shows coming out even while we're gone. And we're special. You can go ahead and mark your calendars now. We're going to do a special, hopefully the internet cooperates with travel, and we're going to do a special live show off of the maiden voyage. I'm trying to find the date of this that we're planning to do it, because I have it in here.
It's the 28th.
The 28th, that's right. Yes, here it is. DCL do a live show on December 28th. TBD on time, so watch out for time. But on December 28th, we're hoping to bring you a live episode of the DCL Duo.
From the hotel.
It's the one port day we have in between getting off the maiden and getting on the Fantasy for New Year's Eve. So we will be live to share our combined thoughts.
From
might even have
the space hotel, right?
The space hotel, because we're going to NASA that day that we're off the ship. Might work in some special guests. We're trying to figure it all out. But yeah, we will be live on December 28th. So next week, 2 shows about the treasure. And then we're going to be live again on December 28th. And so really, really excited for that. But with that, Carolyn, thank you once again for coming on. Thank you to everyone out there who is watching, or if you are listening afterwards. Again, please head over to YouTube, watch these shows, help us, drive up the content here on YouTube as well. It's a great way to kind of see our guests and interact with our guests. So head over there and watch if you can. But if you're listening afterwards, thank you for listening. Thank you everyone out there for watching. And with that, we will see you next time.